All right, so do you see this picture right here? This Snapchat picture I took on July 7th, 2020. This balance you see right here has a whole story behind of what exactly happened to it in just 1 month later. So this $3,000 is in Bitcoin, Ethereum, some other altcoins. Back then, Coinbase didn't really have that many cryptocurrencies, so I probably had just like some Augur, Zcash, just some other things too, like that. Now, the next thing that happened, this was on my Ledger Nano X or Ledger Nano S at the time, by the way. So I got very into cold storage, your private keys, hold your own keys and all that, into DeFi and on custodial wallets and all that. So if you guys weren't in crypto back then of summer of 2020, you probably don't know that during this month, even in July, a lot of yield farming related things are happening. Year-end finance was the start of it. Year-end finance was pretty big back then. We can look at the price in July 2020 on July 17th. It was $800. I think this was even as low as like $30 or something like that. But anyways, I ended up getting into Wi-Fi related projects at the time just because of how fast they were mooning. Like it's crazy. It's nothing like you see today. These projects had such a low supply. Like for example, this one had like 40,000 or it's less now. The max supply was so small that the price of it just skyrocketed so fast due to how much money was being put into it with such a low supply. So it made a lot of people want to buy into it. Projects like this that were related to it, like forks of it, were like YFII. They were mooning like crazy. We saw from like $100 or whatever, a little under $100, go all the way up to like 10,000, 11,000. It doesn't show on here, but it went up to like 11,000. This one did. But in July 2020, it was 869, went all the way down to $120. But if you just held on to it until the end of August, then 1 full month of just suffering and pain of losing all that money from going to 800 if you went all in, that is, and down to 100, and then just wait for it to skyrocket back up like that, you'd be in huge profit. Now, obviously, it'd be a lot better to buy in down here, but anyways, I don't want to go into the nitty gritty of it. I just want to basically just tell my story of how I turned $3,000, this money right here, into $18,000. And I did that using forks off of YFI or just projects that had the letters YFI in it or correlated to it in some way, shape, or form. So I did 6x my money. That's the most I've ever done from trading. And so basically, I first said, well, I'm too late on YFI. The price was already, it was like in August, so the price was probably like 15,000. Bitcoin at this time was like around 10,000. So I think it just surpassed or it was almost close to Bitcoin's price. So I was like, okay, well, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to make much money putting it all into that. It's not going to go that high. I didn't think it would surpass Bitcoin by much or at all, but it did, and it went all the way up to like 40,000 while Bitcoin was still like 12,000. So that's kind of insane to think how Wi-Fi hit 40,000 before Bitcoin ever did, but it's simply due to the supply. So the main fork off of YFI is YFII. They changed the money to DeFi though, DFI money, and this is where I first put my money. So I put my $3,000 into this one when it was around $600. I think I did it around August like 20th or 21st. So it was like $600 because I saw it go from like 500 to 600. Like I remember being on this exact page, clicking the refresh button. We see it's at 2046. And, I just refreshed and it's still 2046, right? But then you'd wait a few minutes, refresh, and it's like 2,500 or like 2,300. Like it's fluctuating by like $80 or by the hundreds of bucks. So it was an insane amount of fluctuation where it was like watching, just like almost like watching a subscriber count or something, just like a number count that's going up and down constantly by like large numbers, I guess. It was just crazy. Like it was actually entertaining to just sit on this page and refresh it. That's how like volatile it was. So I kept refreshing it, and I was on Uniswap at the time, getting ready to click transfer. But I also wanted to make sure, I was like, well, is this a good price? Is it going to go down? Is it going to go up? And it, like, the price kept fluctuating. Then it like went up. I remember it going up to like 650, and then maybe like, oh no, please go back down. Then it'd go down to 600. I'm like, okay, now maybe I should get in, or maybe wait for it to go lower. And then it'd go up to 700. I'm like, oh no, maybe like, it's same stuff. Anyways, with all that happening, I ended up going in and getting 3 YFI, which is right now is worth 6,140. But I had actually, let me check just to make sure that's how much I got, because I had $3,000. It was like 600. Okay, so I actually probably got it for more money than 600 actually, because I remember getting like 3. So 3,000 divided by like what, 800 or something. Okay, so I got it. I was probably like $800 to $900 more like for YFI. But I was like, okay, well that's not too bad compared to YFI being like at like 10,000. I was like, well, if this is like $800 or $900 for it, what if it does go to like 15,000 or whatever? So I was like, that'd be a good deal to get 3 of them. So that's what I ended up doing. So yeah, I got 3 YFI tokens, and I was just watching it go like up and down, and then I actually felt like it was too slow. Like I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna make all my money in this one. Like I don't know if this is the like good one to like set to go. Like I don't know if this is the correct one to be in. Hindsight's 2020. It actually would have been probably the best one to be in. But anyways, this is another one I looked at. And I remember being in the Telegram of this one, YFII, and they did really not like YFFI. YFFI did not have its own Telegram. It did have a Twitter, but that's about it. And it had some anime characters right here. And it just didn't really seem that legit. We can see the last stuff related to it is in August 2020, which is the last month they ever really did anything. So maybe it was a scam. I'm not too sure. They still have their page and everything like that. It's not taken down, or they didn't take it down. But everyone called it a scam, and it'd be banned for talking about it. So I thought about investing in it, because usually that means people are fudding it, and you want to invest in things people are fudding. But the fact that they didn't have a Telegram made me not want to do it. So, I ended up not doing it. Would have been great if I did, because I thought about getting in around August like 20th. So it was like $10. And then it went up to $30, and it's like, oh, I should have got in. And then I was glad I didn't go in, because it went down to $4 on the August 26th. And I remember almost going in at $30. So I was like, well, if it went up from 10 to 30, it's probably going to keep skyrocketing. This is probably the start of something, especially with how low it went from like 10 cents or whatever. And then I was like, okay, well, maybe I should get in, but I didn't. And then when I saw it going to $4, I remember like checking it back again and saying, oh, and I was camping at the time. I was on like it was like my dad's birthday camping trip for like a few days. And I was like, oh, I'm so glad that I didn't buy, because look, now it's gone from $30 to $4. And then I just, didn't touch it with a 10-foot pole. And then it went from $4 all the way to $526. So that could have made me a lot of money, but I did not do that. Hindsight's 2020 anyways. Meme coin was another one I thought about getting into. I remember asking this, their whole thing is don't buy meme coin. As you can see, don't buy meme. And so in the Telegram, they told me not to buy it, but I wanted to, but I didn't. But I wanted them to tell me why I should buy it, but they never did. And I was going to buy it around like $30, and then it went up to like 200, and then 1,000, and then 3,000. So it's too bad I didn't get in that one. But anyways, on to the real story on how I made how I turned 3,000, this money, all the way up into $18,000. So it's related to YFI right here, YFI exchange, YFIE, and YFIS security. So it has to do with these two cryptocurrencies. As you can see, the prices aren't that great, but I'm going to explain to you what exactly happened, how I turned the 3,000 into 18,000, and just my story related to these two tokens. And so all right, so first off with YFIE, so this is the main one I made all my money really with, from 3,000 to 18,000. So it ended up being a scam. Wasn't really too sure. The owner was named like Chad Mega, or no, I think, yeah, it was Chad Mega. So backwards is Mega Chad. So I really should have known it was not too legit. Especially because they kept delaying things, and their site had some spelling errors and stuff like that. And they kept saying the staking and stuff would launch later, and then it kept being delayed. But That's hindsight though. Like looking back, I'm like, yeah, that was an obvious scam. But back then, I was very new to altcoin trading. That was DeFi. So anything that was on Uniswap, I was not used to or anything like that. I was very used to just buying coins on like Coinbase. So like I guess custodial accounts and stuff. Just like exchanges and things like that. Anyways, I was putting all my eggs into one basket, going from YFII to just many different YFI type projects, like staking projects that were just, I guess, in decentralized finance. It was really anything that had the words YFI in it. And when you search YFIE, you can see that there's no number next to it compared to when you search like YFI or YFFI. There's numbers next to it. So when I saw this one, I was like, oh, there's no number next to it. That must mean it just launched. Like it just got on CoinGecko. Like it's new. And as you can see, it still shows no number. But that's what made me want to get into it, because I was like, this is completely brand new. This is something that's going to like probably take off, and people are going to FOMO into it because how cheap it is. And the max supply is like 50,000. So I was like, all right, that's a good deal. And I accidentally just messed this up. But anyways, I got in around like August like 23rd or something like that. No, I got in actually around for like, I'd say $25. And I put $3,000 in at $25. And we can see that it went down to $12 from $25. So my money basically cut in half, going from $25 to $12. And I was in the Telegram just saying like, oh, this is the perfect buying opportunity. Like you're getting like a 50% discount. You're going to want to buy. And I was telling everyone to buy basically at $25 and $12. Now that's a very like Telegram noob crypto like pleb type thing to do. I don't do that literally anymore. I don't do that anymore. Like I'm not someone to try and pump a coin like that of just telling people to buy in a Telegram group. But I was like the master pumper back then, and everyone loved me in that Telegram. And I was telling everyone I was putting all my college savings into it, which I almost actually did at the time. But I had school, college payments to make the next month. So I was like, well, what if this doesn't moon within the next month? What if it takes like 2 or 3 months? Well, and what if it goes down a little bit for short term? Well, I don't want to take out less money and then not be able to pay for school or whatever. So it would have worked out overall if I actually did. But like I've mentioned a few times in this video, hindsight's 2020. Now it's 2021. So no, I'm just kidding. That's just a joke. Anyways, yeah. So it went down to $12, and I put in like an extra $300 to $600. I found that I had in MetaMask on my desktop or something like that, because I was I used Uniswap through many different places. I used Uniswap on my desktop with MetaMask. I used Uniswap on Coinbase's decentralized wallet, and then their non-custodial wallet. And then I also used it on Brave browser as well as Google Chrome browser. I've done Uniswap trades. And I was doing all of them because I wanted to see which one ended up being the fastest, because I had just like some problems with transactions not going through or just taking way too long. And especially with the prices skyrocketing and fluctuating so much constantly within minutes, like hundreds of dollars fluctuating within minutes, I wanted to be as fast as possible to get in and out of these projects and stuff. And so yeah, with YFIE, I actually got in, like I said, $25 with all my money, put in an extra like $300 to $600 at $12. I actually sold at $180. So once it got up to $180, I sold at that point because it made me $18,000. I said, okay, I have over $18,000 worth of crypto, and I was like, all right, I gotta sell at some point. I can't just keep holding this coin forever, because I had never thought this coin was a long-term hold. I kind of already knew it was just a social pump, kind of like Dogecoin, right? It's just a pump and dump, and so I kind of knew it was, right? Any project that a lot of people are flowing into at once, and then not even due to fundamentals, but just because everyone else is doing it, right? Dogecoin, people aren't buying into it because of fundamentals. They're buying into it because they know other people are buying into it, and since other people are buying into it, it's gonna moon, and then it's like a repetitive cycle of just people buying and buying simply just because other people are buying and not because of any other reason. And that kind of to do with the YFI trend. I said, if this has the words YFI in it, that means people are going to buy it because it has those words in it. So or letters, I should say. So because it has these letters in it, I know people are going to buy it. Therefore, I'm going to buy it and then sell when it pumps. And that's what I did. So, bought at 25, sold at 180. It doesn't show on this chart, but it actually went up to like 100, or it went up to like 210. So I was like, oh, maybe I should have waited till it got to 200 to sell. But I did 180 because I wanted to do $20 lower than 200 because everyone was wanting to get it to 200, and no one was really aiming for any higher at the time. They said let's get to 200 first. As we can see, all-time high, like 200 right here. And so when they're like saying, oh well, let's get it to 200. Usually when you have a goal like that and everyone's aiming for it, that means there's going to be a sell-off once that goal hits, because that's what people wanted to get it to make a certain amount of money. Obviously you have to sell it to whatever you want to actually get that money or whatever. And so I had a goal of going to $18,000, and I made that goal because of crypto.com, which I'm going to make a separate video talking about it, but I'll just kind of briefly say right now. This is going to be the end of this video, but yeah, that's how I made 6 times my money, whatever that is. So 18,000, what is that, $15,000 minus 3,000. So yeah, that's how I made $15,000 trading in altcoins. So that's how I went from $3,000 from July 7th to then August. I actually did it within 1 week. I bought YFIE within like one of these days. I forgot what day it was, but then just literally like a week later, I made that money. So within 1 week, I made like $15,000. It was obviously pure luck, because in these two, either I'm gonna make either 1 or 2 more videos related to this. And yeah, I'm gonna make, I think, probably 2 more videos related to this. One is gonna be talking about how I got the Icy White debit card because it required 100,000 CRO stake, and at that time 100,000 CRO was worth $18,000. So I had to buy $18,000 worth of CRO to get the Icy White. And I did that at the very end of August because I exchanged my YFIE for Ethereum, and then I swapped that Ethereum for Crow, and then I staked for the Icy White with 100,000 CRO and to get all these benefits. But I want to talk about my story on that decision and how it affected just my crypto portfolio, and whether it was a good decision, a bad decision, and whatnot. And like maybe what I would have done different, as I was completely new to making that type of money. That within crypto, I've never seen that type of money. So I mean, like, it's just an insane amount, especially to make within a week, to make 15,000 within a week. Yeah, I'll make that a video, and then I'll make a third video talking about the Uniswap airdrop and how I spent that money and what I did with that. And just basically what I benefited from it, what I liked about it, what I regretted doing, and just about that, because I did a lot of stuff with my Uniswap airdrop. As I mentioned earlier in this video, I did use Uniswap a lot for trying to make that $18,000 through different Uniswap projects related to YFI. And as I said, I wanted to use an up-to-speed browser or whatever that would go really fast, as I was having certain issues on different browsers and devices. So I used Uniswap on basically a lot of different things. So I got 1,600 Uniswap tokens free in September, and that's when I found out I got them in September, which is when it came out. So yeah, I'll make a third video talking about that. So I'll have them all in order. So this is the first video, how I turned 3,000 into 18,000 off of basically scam coins. I really wish that I made the money off of YFII, which I could have made even more. And it's not a scam coin, so I would have preferred that. Should have just stuck to that one. That was the first one I got into, and I shouldn't have tried going elsewhere to try and make even more. I should have just stuck with that one and just waited a bit longer. But yeah, so, and YFIS, I didn't mention it that much in this video, as that was their second coin that YFIE team launched. And I bought some of that, and I made a good profit because it went from $30 to 100. So I made a decent amount of money on that. But the main money really came from YFIE. But yeah, in my second video, I'll basically talk about what I did with the 18,000 going into my ICY debit card on crypto.com, and that 6-month lock, and just what happened within crypto and my portfolio, and how many Satoshis I either gained or lost due to my decisions, and I guess quick decisions too, not much thinking going into it. Anyways, this video is getting a bit too long, so I'm going to end it here. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you like this type of content, subscribe for more future content like this, where I kind of tell my crypto stories and kind of like let you guys know things that you should avoid and not and to do, and just like regrets that I've had, so you don't copy my same mistakes. Yeah, so I hope you guys are excited for the next video, as that's when I'm going to start talking about crypto.com, my ICY debit card, and basically just like, you know, everything related to it, from going from $3,000 to $18,000 to staking it for the ICY. And then yeah, the third video will just be talking about my Uniswap airdrop and all the stuff I did with that. All right, see you guys later in my next video.